to start here. Times of dissatisfaction. Disappointments cause dissatisfaction. Anybody been disappointed before? We get disappointed with people. Sometimes we get disappointed with ourselves. We get disappointed with decisions that we make. I want to share a few things that causes dissatisfaction, such as materialism. Anybody materialistic in the place? I know that, hey, that's what I'm talking about. No, I'm laughing because somebody under 18 saying it. Okay. I just want to share that the Apostle Paul warned Timothy, people who to get rich, who want to get rich, fall into temptation. And sometimes they can fall into a trap when you're trying to get rich. There was a song a long time ago that used to say, I want to be rich. I remember it from when I was little. And the thought of it is that, you really didn't know what that meant. We thought that riches was always associated with money. But what about when you're rich in favor? When you're rich in faith? When you're rich in healing? In here it says, for the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Some people, eager for money, have wandered from the faith and pierced themselves with many griefs. Now, if you want to take the note, it'll be 1 Timothy 5, 9 and 10, where that's reflected from. You are to focus on the things eternal. You realize that most things on the earth, probably all things on the earth, are temporary. Even your money, after a while, can fade. People don't believe it, but it's true. You set some fire to it, that 50 gone. Me and my husband were really sick a lot. And I started to find myself complaining a lot, frustrated a lot, overwhelmed a lot, complaining a whole bunch. So to the point that it even spilled into the new year. Some people would think, okay, yeah, just because, but you're a minister though. You're a leader in the church. Let me share something with you. You can be raised in the church and never confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart at all. You can sit in the church. Your mother can birth you in the church. And you never confess or receive salvation. How many people know that to be true? We think just because you see somebody in the church, they look like they about the church. They look like they're representing the church. But sometimes they go through in the church. But when we talk about dissatisfaction, it reminds me of dis-ease. All last year we were full of dis-ease. Constant. Infection. Every time I went to the hospital, infection. Every time he went to the hospital, infection. James was on antibiotics for almost 6 months. And they still seemed like it wouldn't go away. How many know what it is when you go and you get tested for this, tested for that, and all of it come back negative, but you feel like a ton of bricks done fell on you and you've been hit by 2 cars and a bus? But something happened. Last week, I graduated from college. Thank you all for that. When I sat down and I thought about it, I say, man, you've been going to school for like 30 years to get 1 degree. And I'm not trying to be funny. Some laugh. But if you understood the journey and the story, we're not talking about when you went from kindergarten to 12th grade. Kindergarten through 12th grade seemed like the support was different. But something happens when you get grown and that brain don't function the same. And you trying to come up with a paper and they want you to double space and they want you to do indentions and they want you to put reference in there. And you used to cheating like you did in high school. At the Christian school. Oh, okay. All right. Oh. But then the people put a thing in there that you sign that's called the honor code. Yeah. No chance, boss. Chat GP. Okay. But see, somebody told me about another one. They call it Quill. Just helping you lie better. I'm just being honest. You put your words in there, it makes supposedly your words sound better. Not understanding, you still cheating. Oh man, I'm quiet on myself, but I gotta testify about it because too many of us are lying to ourselves, not understanding that you trying to cut the corner and justify the lie, but you actually are still lying. You still stealing. I had a conversation at work strictly about copy paper. When we print that stuff off at them people job that has nothing to do with them people job. Look like I ain't have to finish. Them posted sticky notes, those paper clips. And we say to ourselves, well, they don't pay me enough anyway, so I might as well get something out of this. What if? God did that with us. Look at Ecclesiastes 6 where it says, better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of desire. This also is vanity and grasping for wind. In our own eyes, we think everything right. A lot of us don't like to agree to that. But I want you to understand, look how far television has come. Look how far video has come. Share with you a quick example of what I mean about television. The Twilight Zone came on yesterday, and I'm talking about the black and white version from back in the day. My daughter said, man, what is that? Me and my husband started to laugh. I'm like, girl, that's the Twilight Zone. The funny part was, this particular episode, the man's conscience was in the mirror. And his conscience was telling him about himself. He said, you never let me live. You always made all the decisions. Why you didn't ever let me make the decisions? He said, remember, it started from when you was 10 years old, when you first started stealing, and you didn't want to look bad in front of the people at the school. And I'm like, man, conscious going on. Conscious went all the way back to 10, and he was totally whole grown. But what it is another man told him to kill another man. And conscious say, how long you gonna keep on listening to everybody else but me? I tell you what you gonna do. Why don't you give me a chance to live? Because it seems like you always want to die. So y'all know what ends up happening. He goes and he's opening every door, and there's a mirror at every door, and he say, I'm still here. I'm still here. Where you going? You can't go nowhere without me. Man say, man, you might be right. What was funny is as the scenes shifted, I told James, I said, you notice the part where when Mira was talking, the man on the outside had to stay still. When he was talking, Mira had to stay still. A lot of times when God's trying to tell you something, you try to be the forerunner. I want you to live. But those decisions and choices and people that you keep wanting to deal with, you keep listening to them. But I'm trying to show you how to live. I want you to live. I want you to be free. But you just keep listening to them. What they saying about you ain't even you. But they've been telling you so long that you started to regurgitate it over and over and over again to yourself that you begin to believe the lie. James 4:1-3 says, where do wars and fights come from among you? Do they not come from your desires for pleasure that war in your members? Talk about your body. Your lust, and you lust and do not have. You murder and covet and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask amiss, that you may spend it on your pleasures. Isn't it funny that the word satisfaction always has to deal with the flesh? A lot of us were raised like that. As long as you got the good meal, the money was in the bank, somebody was telling you something nice, you had a good job, things were going good, you were satisfied. What happens though when tragedy hits? When the lights do get turned off? When the check do bounce? When you done ran up all them credit cards again? Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm talking about me. Dissatisfaction in this manner is sinful. And it's like blaming God for your circumstances. Like God didn't do his job. Well, Lord, when I signed up, you told me I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Lord, when I signed up, you told me I was righteous. Lord, when I signed up, you told me I was holy. Read the Bible. Some of those key words was in there that we decided not to read because we wanted to say the popular scriptures. What happens when you get to the unpopular scripture? Be angry and sin not. Well, he said it was okay for me to be angry. You didn't read the rest. Point number 2. Times of satisfaction. When you look at 1 John 2:17, it says, and the world is passing away, and the lust of it. But he who does the will of God abides forever. 1 Timothy 6:6 says, but godliness with contentment is great gain. Godliness with contentment is great gain.